a symbolic gesture to hand back land to a people decimated by colonialism. The Nauo story is one of survival.
Throughout history, or throughout, the frontier wars and the colonisation, our people were basically annihilated. There was a few Nauo people, Apiqua ancestors, which were moved off country. And yeah, we're here, we never left.
The importance of the Nauo is that they were really, in my opinion, they were impacted at the same extreme level as people in northern Queensland and Tasmania, where they were basically exterminated. But the members of the community that did survive retained their connection to traditional law and custom through their agencies with other Aboriginal people living around their area. So they're having their native title recognised because they actually maintained their traditional law and custom despite the forces of history. So the importance of their claim is that they're actually having their rights recognised despite their near extinction at the hands of white settlers.
Today is a day of celebration.
For myself personally, 32 to 33 years working for the Nauo organisation, which is happening today, to be recognised and to let people understand that we did walk this land and our people were around this area back before white man settlement, and we just like to keep that tradition and Dreamtime story going.
Celebration, closure, end of a very long, 29-year-old struggle to get recognition of our country and to be authors of our own destiny. It's about recognition and giving us a seat at the table to make our own decisions and our own destinies.
Nauo connection to all their traditional country lives on in the minds, hearts and timeless stories of how this country fits together that are still told by Nauo people.
We're here as caretakers like we were back in the days.
The native title ruling includes compensation of some land at Coffin Bay for the Nauo people.
I'd like to see that land sort of set up for a venture, for economic, for the Nauo organisation so we can put all the fundings back into our people for the purpose of education and employment and also health.
Look at this. Let's harness in on tourism. Let's harness in on fishing. There's endless opportunities on our country.
Greeny Beach area is obviously attractive to Western people. It's a very attractive bit of coastline, but it's central to the core region that Nauo people lived in, and which is sort of Coffin Bay, this area, and heading north into the sort of the dry lands around Elliston and so forth. Where we're standing now just has multiple assets because it's very fertile, hinterland country, lots of springs. The mountains and the salt lakes are part of a complex religious terrain, which is generally known as Seven Sisters, but it has a very dominant in this particular area, and Turling's associated with Mount Greenley, a significant male component to that mythology. So the area has really significant economic, traditional histories, has really rich mythology, and where we're standing now is actually an old camping area where you can still see the remains of, when people camped on these dunes that were formed 6,000 years ago. Who knows how old the evidence of the camps. And so you have this continuity through the great past into the contemporary era, where finally Western society is recognising and righting a wrong committed in the colonial time.
There are cultural stories to share.
We've got a couple of old fellas here, the protectors of this area. So when we're not here, like this traditional thing, like he's like a keeper. He's here all the time, and he watches the place. So when we came here, he welcomes us in here. and then we welcome the community, you know, like that, to make it safe. But yeah, we come here a lot of times, you know, for this stuff. And, hello, Papa. Yeah, we do things like that.
The community is planning projects to create jobs and prosperity.
Nauo park rangers have Nauo people sitting and making decisions about, you know, the national parks and because there are many sacred sites out there also, and protecting those and teaching our children and, you know, the ones coming after us the importance of these places.
It's for our grandchildren, children. Oh, that's why I done it, just for my children, my grandchildren.
I never thought this day would come, you know, with all the pressure and the lifespans of Aboriginal people. You know, really, I thought I wouldn't be here today. But in saying that, I'm really glad that I am here. You know, it's just a bit sad that other people who passed on aren't here to see all this.